Greetings, everybody! We are now finally getting to the exciting part of this 3D modeling course, the 3D modeling itself. This lesson will show you two main things. One, how to join objects together, and two, how to extrude two-dimensional objects in order to create three-dimensional objects. This essentially means that we're just stretching out these two-dimensional designs that we've been making so far in order to turn them into three-dimensional forms, which will then be printable on a three-dimensional printer. The two functions that we're going to use today are the union function and the PRISM function. I'll demonstrate how both of these can be used by creating a three-dimensional Wild West sheriff's badge. I'll start off by creating the two shapes that are going to make up this sheriff's badge. First, we're going to make a star. Let's name it S. We do this by using the star function. Star function takes two parameters, the first one being the radius of the star, so the distance from the origin to the outer point, and let's make that 2 in this case. And the second parameter is the number of points that the star has, so let's make that 5. The second shape that we want to make will be a ring, so let's call that R, and make it have an inner radius of 1.8 and an outer radius of 2. So now let's color the ring R gold, and let's display both S and R. As you can see, we now have a spiffy sheriff star, but only the ring is colored. This is because of the fact that these two shapes, though they overlap, are still two very separate objects. Now, we can do a lot of our 3D modeling that way, but it causes some very annoying things to happen, especially as we create more than two objects. For example, if I wanted to color this entire form, we would have to do two calls of the color function. And then every time I want to display anything, I have to put every single object that I've created into the show function. So we can solve this by using the union function, by turning both of these objects into one object. So the way we're going to do that is by creating one object called star and setting it equal to the union, in all caps, of S and R. Then we're just going to color star instead of just R gold, and we are going to show star. As you can see, the shapes R and S were fused into one shape. The union function is an exceedingly helpful tool. But unless we have ourselves some sort of flat Stanley Sheriff, then this very flat sheriff's badge is going to be no good. So let's give it a little bit of depth with the PRISM function. We'll do this by creating a new object called sheriff star and setting equal to PRISM, and the first parameter is star, the object that we would like to turn into a prism, and the second parameter is 0.2 in this case, so the depth of the prism we're creating. So we're just extruding this shape that we've made, star, into a three-dimensional space by 0.2 units. Let's then color sheriff star gold and proceed to display sheriff star. We have officially created our first three-dimensional object. Pretty neat.